Awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wanted to go over today the Fountain of Leadership, Part One. And most people, I don't know, think that being a leader is a difficult job. But the truth to the matter is that when you lead yourself is when you become a leader, right? And I have a question that I posted in the comments. How can you lead yourself so others around you can follow suit? Name three things you could do today to start being a leader, right? Because being a leader is being a bleeder. And there's someone that does the actions first, right? They take action in what they do right away. And a lot of it's just the process of day in and day out to make progress in what it is that you're looking to do. And someone said this to me recently, and I'm trying to remember who said it to me, but being a leader is about being intentional about daily wins of success. Like the acronym for win is what's important now, right? And when you win in the now and you start attributing that towards your success and moving your life and your business forward, is when you start making progress through process. And the fountain of leadership, I'm going to touch a little bit about this, and then I'm going to go into a part two and a part three. But if you imagine yourself maybe in a cartoon world, and and all the water in that leadership space we're all droplets of water, all of us, right? We're all little droplets of water. And we see this amazing, beautiful fountain in the middle of the water, in the middle of the river. And each of us are all these individual droplets looking up at being a leadership in the space. If you run a business, if you have a family, right? You're the leader of that family. You're the leader of that business. You're there through daily processes and progresses to move forward and win in the space that you're looking to win in. But most of us look at that leader, that fountain, and say, oh man, whew, that's really difficult. It's really tough. And once as little droplets, we get near it, we start to get sucked into that leadership fountain, we kind of retreat back into the water. And when we do that, we go back into our comfort zone. We're like, oh my God, we almost got sucked in. We almost, made our way in. So what we do is we watch. And we do this by showing up at summits, events, conferences, a lot of online events, because most of us really do want to be leaders in our space. Most of us want to lead in our business. We want to lead in our life. But what we do is we kind of get near the fountain, right? So I first heard this by a man named Eben Pagan, which many of you know. He's a master marketer, and he has very good products and services that if you apply them, and I first heard this story through one of his paid courses called Money Psychology. And I'm going to attribute this way of being a leader is that, we're little droplets of water, and we're kind of going into these rooms because we want to be leaders in our own space, but we get close to it. And in a way, we're using that as a crutch to think that we're leading ourselves forward, when in actuality, we're standing at the sidelines, right? And we're not using the resources that are there for us, right? A lot of us go to summits, masterminds, conferences. We buy online courses. We invest in ourselves. I'm someone who invests in themselves constantly and consistently. And I set time aside so I can be a leader, because I'm a leader in my business. I'm a leader in the guidance space. And when I help experts become authorities in their space, my game has to be on. I have to know what they're struggling with and help them move towards that solution. So I get in these rooms where a lot of these people are master business people, and we get close to the fountain, and sometimes we're afraid to ask for what we need and what we want. And some of us are actually afraid to invest in ourselves, right? Well, we think if we invest a large sum of money towards something that we're not going to get what it's worth. But the truth is you're not if you don't do the work, right? You got to do the work. When you invest in these when you're around leaders in the space and they're asking you to, come up, right? Because they all have kind of like a funnel where it's like you enter here, but we want to take you up here, but you must be willing to do the work. You must be willing to invest the time. You must be willing to invest the energy. You must be willing to invest the attention, and you must be laser focused, and you must be intentional about what it is you're looking to do, right? Because a lot of us fall to our level of preparation, which is pretty low, right? And then what happens is then we get stuck there and we don't do anything. And we make up all of these excuses about why we're not growing, why we're not doing YouTube videos, why we're not doing, the things that we must do to grow. And it's because we are afraid of being the leaders. We're afraid of being seen. We're afraid of being heard. We're afraid of, sometimes a lot of us are afraid of what we stand for and who we are and what we stand for, because we don't want to be judged by others. We don't want to be juried by others. We don't want to be executed by the people around us, but we still want to move forward. So there's like a paradox, right? We want one thing, but if we get that thing, then, so we kind of get stuck in a hallway. It's like walking outside of a door and then the lights go out and we're stuck in the hallway. And until we decide to cut loose for old ways and go into the new. So being a leader is a process of progress. And whatever space you're in, if you're an expert and you're a business builder and you're building a business, and maybe, you're unsure what you're passionate about, you haven't discovered that niche yet, it's good to really surround yourself with, this leadership, right? The fountain of leadership is, we look at it, we admire it. It's an amazing fountain. We look at it, we see people in the rise, in the water. We're like, wow, we want to be that. We want to be that for our business. We want to be that for our employers. We want to be that for our guests, or what some people call clients. But we're not willing to do it ourselves. And until we're not willing to be a leader in our space, nothing is going to happen, right? In order to grow, you got to go. And I did a video the other day called The Force of Forward Motion. And a lot of learning and experiential learning and being a leader is also being a bleeder, right? Sometimes you got to get those wounds to figure out, how can I do that better? And preparation, right? Falling to the level of your preparation is very important in being a leader, right? Because I'm constantly course correcting and adjusting and tweaking, because I have a system that works for clients, and some of my clients are on module 4, others are on module 8, right? And we're figuring out, what the holdup is here, and then working towards moving forward. And some move quicker, some move slower. But again, it's about taking 100% responsibility as a leader in our space, right? And in our faith of what we do. And a lot of it is just executing. A lot of it is just getting stuff done. And, so when I first heard about this Founders of Leadership is, what happens is we get close to it. And the closer we get to it, and you want to live this life to the fullest, and you want to be successful, but there's something that's holding you back. And you have to ask yourself, what is it that's holding me back from moving towards my potential and being a leader in my space, right? Leading your ship, right? Leadership. And if you think about it, you're a captain of your own ship. You're a captain of your own business. You're a captain of your own life. You're a captain of your own family. What are you doing? Do you need to invest more time and energy and attention? Do you need to stop doing things, or do you need to add more positive things around you? That could be positive people. It could be positive influences. Maybe you have to commit more to personal development, integrating certain skills into your life and business that you haven't before, something that you're avoiding. I remember one of my clients was avoiding this one thing, and he would say it in a roundabout way, and I'd say, well, why aren't you doing that? If you know that's the thing that's keeping you, and you're losing your shirt, basically he was losing money from it, why are you avoiding that? Well, I don't feel like doing it. Okay, can you hire someone to do it? Can you automate, delegate, and outsource it? And he says, yeah, I could, but, not this. You see, and the cycle repeats itself. We all know what we must do to move forward. And when we look and we see that leadership fountain in the distant, and we're avoiding what needs to be done, right? We're staying the same. We're staying in the comfortable, warm water, right? That water that's comfortable with all the rest of the water droplets that are everywhere. And water droplets are I'm using a cartoon metaphor here, but they're people who are in their comfort zone, right? When you surround yourself with people who are in their comfort zone, guess what? You get really comfortable too. And then 10 years passes by, 15 years passes by, 20 years passes by, and you wonder why you don't have what you want. So I'm going to challenge you. How can you lead yourself first, right? How can you be a leader in your space, a leader in your business? If you work for somebody, maybe you're virtually working for somebody over Zoom. How can you be the best in your space so you can really shine for you? A lot of us seek approval from other people. And I am someone who does not seek any approval from anyone. And I believe if you vibe with me, we'll work together. If you don't, that's fine too, right? There's other people that vibe with me, and I only want to attract the people that I vibe with. I want to attract the people that, maybe they don't move as quick, but they're still willing to take that step forward. And sometimes it's a step backward that makes you step forward a little faster, a little quicker, because life is about exponential learning. And being a leader is about leading yourself first, doing what's important to you when no one else is looking, right? It's not about what you do in front of other people. It's what you do when you're alone, right? When you're in your space, when you're working, maybe you're burning the midnight oil. Maybe you're working harder than everybody else because, you're on a mission, you're on a crusade, and you believe, like for me, I love helping experts become authorities, right? That want to break from the 9 to 5 and work for themselves full time, right? Because it's something, that I'm seeking, that I'm in the midst of doing. So I want to help other people create a fully operational business. So ask that question for you. How can you lead yourself so others around you follow in suit? Name 3 things you could do today. Name 3 things you could do today to start being a leader for yourself, right? And before you become a leader for others. So again, I hope that was helpful. And again, that's Fountain of Leadership Part 1. There will be a Part 2. Leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep bringing this stuff daily. So take care of yourself. Take care. I hope you like my shirt. Kingston, man. The original capital of New York. Bye.